Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, taking a look at a Gouging Fire EX deck in the expanded format. This is the Pokemon TCG Live Expanded format, which is Sun and Moon on. It doesn't have the earlier sets that are in the full-blown expanded format. There actually was an expanded tournament in Japan recently. Someone played a similar list to this with Gouging Fire, so I took inspiration from that, but I had to certainly swap out a few cards because some of the cards that they could play, being a full expanded format, don't have access to here. But anyway, getting into the deck, and I like Firebox, especially in the expanded format with Welder, is a super fun and powerful combo. So Gouging Fire EX, and I haven't done an expanded video in a bit, so I'll probably talk about some of these expanded staple cards more than I would in a standard video for staple cards, just because everyone's not going to necessarily be familiar with it. But anyway, Gouging Fire EX, a nice 230 HP basic Pokemon. It has a very nice, the second attack, Blitz Blast, does 260 for fire colorless, and then it can't use the Blaze Blitz again. I think I might have missaid the name, but again until it leaves the active spot. So that's the downside, but 260 is very nice damage amount there, and so a very nice Pokemon there for sure. So 3 copies of that. We have a couple alternate attackers. One, some what you're familiar with, Radiant Charizard. Right, does 250 for 5 energies, but it's 1 colorless energy less for each prize your opponent's taken. So if they take on 4 prizes, 250 damage for 1 fire energy, very nice there. And Delphox V, which I'm really enjoying in standard format these days, very nice, as well as another attacking option. Magical Fire does 120 for 3 energies, and you put 2 energies in the Lost Zone, and then it does 120 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So a nice having a bench threat there. And then having a nice expanded fire attacker is Blacephalon or Baby Blounds, being a single prize Pokemon. Its Fireball Circus does for 3 energies, does 50 damage. You discard any number of fire energies from your hand. It does 50 per card you discard this way, so it can scale up to very big numbers. And it actually gets better often as the game goes on, the way these fire decks are built. So it's always having a single prize attacking option is nice, and a single prize attacking option that can do big damage, super nice there. Then we have some nice support cards, none of which are in standard format now, but if you're used to you've been playing for a few years, they were in, a couple of them were in standard format recently, and then the other one, Tapu Lele-GX, been out of format a little longer, but it has been well played. I'll start off with Tapu Lele-GX. The ability is very similar to Lumineon UNB. I think it's the same. Wonder Tag, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. So that's great. But it also has a useful attack, which we can use in a deck like this. Lumineon UNB, you have to have water energy to attack with, so we don't have that. But Energy Drive for 2 colors energy does 20 for each damage per energy attached to both active Pokemon. So it starts at a base of 40 because we need 2 energies to do our attack, and then more depending what your opponent's Pokemon has. Now, the damage numbers still aren't huge, but it's better than Lumineon UNB, so that's why this is in the deck. And then 2 really great other supporters. 1, Crobat V, very nice here. We can't attack with it, but Dark Asset, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in hand, so very nice there. And then one of the just all-time great support Pokemon too is the Dedenne-GX for Dead Change ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. So, just 1 less than a Professor's Research, so kind of almost a free supporter when you play this card. So it just really helps set up with those Pokemon there. Very nice there. 12 basic fire energies. Basic fire is all we want in this deck. So in some ways, Welder decks I'd like more than 12, but this original list was less than 12. I think it might have even been down to 8 or something like that, which was just kind of crazy low to me. So when I did adjusting for things, I made sure to get some more energies in, which I think the deck wants. All right, so getting in, I've said it's a Welder deck, so let me jump off with that. This was a really staple supporter for all fire decks while it was in format here. You attach up to 2 fire energy cards to your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, you draw 3 cards. The downside is you already have to have the fire energies in hand beforehand. It can go to your active, not the bench. So that when you compare it to Gardenia's Vigor, it definitely has, it's probably a better card than that. So super good there as a supporter. So 4 copies of that, 2 copies of Guzma which is similar to Boss, but often a little bit better. You switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with your active, and then you switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon. And the way they phrased it, you're switching with the bench active and your opponent's the bench active, it's actually very meaningful. Not going to get into that now, but if you have questions about it, let me know and I can discuss the wording in the video of why it is that way, because the way the rulings go, it makes sense why it's phrased this way. One copy of Roxanne, which obviously is very good at some point in the game. That's in standard format now, so not going to spend a lot of time with that. Marnie, which if you've been playing for a little bit, you're well familiar with this. This was a super good staple card. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck, hand onto the bottom of the deck. So you shuffle a hand, put it to the bottom of the deck, like Iono. Then you draw 5 cards, your opponent draws 4 cards. So you always get more cards than your opponent. It doesn't matter how many prizes have been taken. So that's very nice there. That's all the supporters. For Pokemon Search, hit that next. 2 Nest Ball, put a basic onto the bench. That's good. For Quick Ball, because as I'm sure you noticed, there are those Pokemon that have on playability. So Quick Ball, you discard a card from hand, search your deck for any basic Pokemon. So really good. And obviously with these Pokemon basics with on playabilities, a much better card. So for Quick Ball, super, super good. And then 2 Ultra Ball, you know what that does as well. So it partly to get what a card we want. You could play just 2 more Nest Ball, but first off, Ultra Ball does get those on play Pokemon, which we still might, so Ultra Ball could be better than Nest Ball, and also getting some energies in the discard pile over the course of the game is a good thing. So that's all the Pokemon Search we have there. One Rod, right, to get back, Super Rod to get back some energy, and or Pokemon from the discard pile into the deck is good there. Sorry for the yawn. So 4 copies of Pokégear. The deck doesn't really have an engine. It doesn't have an engine, right? It has these good Pokemon with these on-play abilities, but no engine. So Pokégear just kind of helps make the deck more efficient, hopefully smooths things out enough. 1 Pal Pad. The original deck played Versus Seek, if you know what that is, and super, super good card there. We don't have that, so kind of Pal Pad and Pokégear kind of make up for that. Versus Seeker is an awesome card, though. Let's see, 1 Escape Rope, that just rotates, so you probably know what that does. 2 older, good fire cards. Fire Crystals, you put up to 3 fire energy cards from your discard pile into your hand, so get those cards there to welder to your Pokemon, or to discard with maybe Blacephalon to do damage there. And then 2 copies of Fiery Flint. You can only play this card if you discard 2 cards from hand. You search your deck for up to 4 energy cards. So very, very good. Just filling our hand with energy cards as the game goes on. 1 copy of Field Blower, super awesome there. Choose any combination of up to 2 tools and or stadiums in play and discard them. So way better than Lost Vacuum. We like Lost Vacuum. Most decks play a Lost Vacuum. Field Blower, just much better than that. Pokemon Catcher is the A-Spec with the decks playing. You would have access to older A-Specs as well, but going with Prime Catcher seems to make a lot of sense here. 1 copy of Adventure Bag. You search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon tool cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. So we just get some tools in hand. And the tools we're playing, 1 copy of Forest Seal Stone. We have some V Pokemon, no V Stars, so very nice there. 2 copies of Ancient Booster Energy Capsules gives our Gouging Fires plus 60 HP, very nice there, as well as immune special conditions. And then 2 copies of Air Balloon reduces the retreat cost of Pokemon by 2 energy. The original deck list played 2 Float Stone. That is a better card, but it's not available in this format. So Air Balloon pays the retreat cost, I think, for all the Pokemon except for one of them, which is, except for Radiant Charizard. Float Stone gives you ignore the retreat cost, so that is much better, but Air Balloon is generally good enough. And then a couple stadiums here to round out the cards. 2 copies of Giant Hearth. Once during your turn, you can discard a card from hand, then search your deck for 2 fire energies. Very nice there. And then Heat Factory. There's a Prism Star card, which means you can only play 1 copy of that particular Prism Star card. In a sense, similar to like the Radiant Pokemon or the A-Specs, but you can play, you're not limited to only 1 Prism Star in total, just of 1 Prism Star of that particular Prism Star. You can have multiple Prism Stars of different cards. This is Heat Factory. Once during your turn, the stadium, you may discard a fire energy from hand. If you do, you draw 3 cards, so it really helps with the fact that we don't really have an engine And also, whenever a player plays an item or supporter card from the hand, prevent all effects of that card done to the stadium. And as you note, remember, I play Field Blower's a item I play, and that which would bump a stadium, but Heat Factory is not affected by that because it's an item. And also supporters such as, the draw 3, discard a supporter and play. Worker, right, that wouldn't discard it. So it's a little harder to get out of play. Another stadium is the main way to bump it. So just makes it a little, it sticks around longer. So that's a plus there. So that, I believe, is the 60 cards in deck. And we'll take a look at it in action. Oh, before I do that, just to make sure you know how to find expanded format, right? I'm always playing, or generally playing ranked. You just click on the play button here, but you come over the casual side of things because there's no expanded beta in ranked, only in casual. Then you click on the little hexagon till expanded comes to the top, and then we'll click the play button to jump into our game. All right, let's see how things go here. So heads, I guess we go second and hope to Welder our first turn. I mean, that's kind of how Welder decks want to go. You can have that potential attack turn 1. So, but we lost the coin toss, so we'll see what happens here. Yeah, see how things go for sure. So I'm going second, so that could be good for me. I remember back in the earlier days of live when, all right, Baby Blacephalon's not what I want to start with, just because the energy, I can't get enough energies to really do big attack with it. All right, metal, I like that. So it could be Dialga, V-Star, could be Zacian's very good. It could be Zacian ADP. Which is a bit scary, but my fire will, obviously the metal's weak to that. I might end up attacking with the first attack. It does 10 damage, and you turn up one of your face down prize cards. If it's a fire energy, it takes, it does 50 more damage. So, okay, 2 quick balls, not bad there. So if I hit an energy, okay, Glare and Meowth, which lets you discard 2 cards, Search and Evolution. Sometimes you just play it just to thin your hand out. Other times it's a metal deck, so they probably want to, it boosts your damage, I believe, the Glare and Berserker. It's been a bit since I played it, but yeah. All right, so see how things go here. I'm sure they're not happy to have seen my fire card there. So Giant Hearth, I'm pleased to have that. 2 quick balls can get Dedenne or something. Some decks play multiple Dedennes just because it's so important, right? If Dedenne is prized, I will be very sad. I can tell you that, but it's you know, it's okay. All right, so Zacian V, is it just a Zacian deck? Zacian Dialga. Like I said, Zacian ADP, scary. ADP, if you're not familiar with it, what it does, it's got its attack, its GX attack, kind of like the V-Star attacks or abilities, but they're all attacks. So Intrepid Sword, Zacian V is very good. So another Blacephalon. Well, discard energy because I got a ton of energies here. Let's see what I have in deck. I think let me just look at the numbers here. I think Zacian does 230, so it does one shot me. I couldn't remember if it did 230 or 220. So that part's not great, but I do think I want a Gouging Fire in play. Let's see. Yeah. I don't think I really want to tackle Blacephalon this turn. I guess I'm going to need to discard with the Dedenne, I think, and hopefully I can make some magic happen. So but that I discard when I play the Dedenne, so I want to wait. I want my stadium in play probably. I'll attach energy here. Ideally, I'd attack here. If I can take the knockout, then the Zacian becomes in the active and they can't use Metal Saucer. And that's a bit of a problem if they get Metal Saucer. All right, well, Tapu Lele. Wait, I can't. Oh, I don't have any energies in hand yet. I see. That's why I was like, well, how come I can't Welder? So let me discard something so I can Welder. And then I will, let's think, I'll get rid of the Ultra Ball or the Pal Pad. I'll get rid of Pal Pad. I think I can do that. So, so I'm going to want to Welder. The question is, right now I can attack. Probably don't get the knockout. So Welder. Do I want to go active or bench? I think I want to chuck the energies on the bench, and then I hope I hit my tool. I think that's the plan here. Actually, I'm going to toss. Yeah, I could toss one on the active. Actually, maybe I should have done that. All right, so I'm going to get rid of what, 2 cards here. I'll get rid of Tapu Lele. That one's a risk, but let me get some energies. So so the way this deck is, I'm already out of energies in deck, if you notice, right? So this deck is, I mean, partly I'd like to have more energies in the deck than I do have. I don't know why actually I should not have done that, should I? I didn't need those energies in hand. Okay, so I will attach my tool, and I'll end turn. So that wasn't great. Maybe I should have accelerated 1 energy to Baby Blacephalon, and then I had a chance of knocking out the Glare Mouth. Let me think. What's my energy history? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 2 energies in the discard pile, so it would have been a 1 in 3 chance. Okay, oh, Oranguru, an old friend there. Switch. This is a very useful card. It would be nice to have a format as well. Okay. So now he's accelerated, he's up, and their metal Pokemon do more damage. So, this is not great, but, is what it is. See what I hit with Pokemon. Oh, getting Marnied. Okay. My stadium's in play, so that's not terrible. All right, I got Air Balloon, so I can retreat. Okay. So I can switch. The thing is, if I take, actually with my tool, Zacian V does not one-shot me, which is really important, right? I obviously just take him out very easily. 60. I can use my first attack on the Berserker because of weakness. I don't have a V Pokemon, so I don't really want any tools yet, right? So I go out Air Balloon. Do I want to? I might just want to. I'll get rid of Quick Ball. That could be a mistake, but I kind of like having the option of the stadium here too, right? So I'll Pokégear, see what I get first off that. Welder. Yeah, I don't actually. Do I really want Welder? It's a good question. I wanted to retreat, take the knockout, I think. So let me just draw some cards. I'd like to Welder to a different Pokemon, actually, is what I'd like to do, right? Oh, Heat Crystal's super, super, super. So I'm going to retreat. I will attack. I'm going to Welder to one of my Blacephalons, actually. And now we can see how awesome Fire Crystal is. And you can just kind of these expanded decks, they're pretty awesome with the stuff they can do. Yeah, so this is just a really, really nice set of cards here. Yeah, so and I don't play boss, I play Lysander. So you just got to remember that. So they're going to hit into me, probably knock me out. No, well, I don't know if they will. So I don't have Gusty, I don't have boss, I don't have Lysander, but Lysander's okay because Blacephalon, I have free retreat off the Blacephalon. Right, I need to send something up. Just like with Prime Catcher, right? You're used to the dynamic with Prime Catcher. You've got to switch your own Pokemon as well. So you just got to think things through, make sure you're set up to make it work. At this point, I would Pokégear for Lysander if things kind of stay like this. Oranguru with the Zacian deck here, what it does is, like one of the things they can do is they can get a metal energy on top of the deck. So if they get like another Zacian in play, they could get metal energy on a metal energy to do it. But now they can't do it, because if that was their plan, because now they're searching their deck and it shuffles it. So that's always a thing to do. The top card in the deck is now going to be at some random spot in the deck. So Zamazenta V is a tanky Pokemon, but it's tanky against Vs, right? Or V-Stars or something. So my stadium, they played Worker, and my stadium is not affected by Worker because it's a supporter. So that's very nice, right? I'm sure they would have liked to have bumped my stadium. They might even, if they're not familiar with Expanded, they might even have thought it was going to happen. But so Coating Metal is very good. So it removes weakness, but I do one-shot them because I do 260. So that's okay. Hopefully Pokégear for Lysander, take out the Zacian, which would, I imagine, just kind of crush their game. Okay, so they're going to take out the Dedenne, I imagine. And take out Blacephalon. Okay, I mean, he's got energy on it. I welded to him and all, so that makes sense. I will send up the Blacephalon, but I'm gonna take out the Zacian. And the Coating Metal doesn't help, right? Because I do 260 damage, so it just is kind of very ineffective, right? So got a Welder too, super. So I will accelerate 2 energies to my Blacephalon. Maybe I should have gotten another Pokemon in play. I don't know. It's a good question. I will retreat into him. I will I think I'll just attack here. Just attack. Why don't I just attack? It gets a little awkward at this point, right? I needed to get the tool attached, so I do think that was important. So that the Zacian couldn't one-shot my my Gouging Fire, which they would have because I 230 HP and they do 230 damage. So the Coating Metal was not effective because I just one-shotted him, and they should have known that, and they should not have made that attachment. That didn't help. They didn't need it for the attack cost. So it looked like it's just a straight-up Zacian deck. Well, Zacian and Zamazenta deck, right? And Zamazenta does less damage, so they're going to be trying to set up their next turn. So I want to, well, we'll see what happens. So, okay, so Zacian and Dialga. Okay, and Metal Saucer. Which Metal Saucer is obviously a terrific card. That's their first one. So if I can get Lysander, then I wipe them out. Are they gonna? Okay. That's actually really good because I can't now, because I play Lysander, and that means I can't double switch. So now I have a problem. Now I have a real problem. But what I can do is, if I can get a Welder, I ditch my Pal Pad, right? I'm down to 1 Welder in deck. So they're accelerating to the Dialga, getting ready for their big attack. So Guzma, but that's not a good feeling for me. So I need to, let's think, what do I want to do here? I don't think I need, so I don't think I need Field Blower. Actually, the Rod could be good as well, right? I'll get rid of Marnie. I like that, but let's see if I can pull this thing off. So I need Gouging Fire, and I need a Welder. The Welder's in deck, so I need to hit Welder. Okay, that's what it comes down to, I think. And I do have my Stadium as well. I don't love that, though. Actually, that's actually fine. I have Fire Crystal. So, I hit Welder. So, super awesome there. So, so I take the knockout now. I have to hard retreat, but that's okie dokie. Oh, that's right. I have played Rope. I forgot about Rope, but I will Hard retreat now. Send you up. I will attach my tool here. And I will just take the knockout. Super, super. Now, with coating metal, what that does do, if they evolve to the Dialga V-Star, then I don't one-shot them, right? I could potentially with Baby Blounds. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, metal's tough because fire's very good and expanded. So metal, I enjoyed metal back in the day, but you know, it was, you know, once Welder rotated, metal became a little more viable. That was one of the problems. Where Zacian first came at it, it was kept down just because metal fire Pokemon were just so good, and just the weakness was really rough. And you could play coating metal whenever that came out, but you know, it wasn't a great feeling, is what I will say. So I can at this point I Guzma and I just take out the well, it doesn't matter. I'll Guzma and I just have game here. I think, I mean, I guess I'm not completely guaranteed, but I can just attack with Baby Blounds too. So Baby Blounds will so I'll just Guzma here. I just need to do one. Doesn't really matter. I just need one prize card, so I'll take you out. Do this. I'll retreat. I mean, I have lots of ways to win this game now, so it doesn't really matter, right? And I will just do this for... I do 120 because of weakness. I could have attacked with Blounds for 200 damage plus weakness, right? Because I had Fire Crystal. I could have possibly gotten more than 4 energies in my hand. I'm not sure. Yeah, because I had Rod too. So, you know, the options were tremendous, and you know, they were weak to me. Metal is definitely something you'll run into. Metal has some good cards, but fire is just, you know, it just makes metal decks sort of rough to play. And obviously, we saw how good the Welder deck was that game. All right, let's see what happens here. Sorry, I think if there's some random tapping there, it's getting distracted, but nothing was happening as well. So, okay, so I want to go second. So, see what I'm up against. Got some type of Charizard coin. Okay, Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire in the active, because with Welder, I can get the energies on. So, Tapu Lele gives me access to Welder, Fiery Flint. Oh, that is actually very good here. So, yeah. So it's Charizard deck. Probably, I assume they play Charizard EX. The discarding a stadium makes a lot of sense. There's a... Okay, oh, all right. Interesting. I mean, Delphox is actually really good here too, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do here, right? So I want to Pokégear first, I think. Let's see what I had. Got a Welder. That's very good. And I'll attach the 2 energy to the active Pokemon. I do have Fiery Flint. Okay, that's very good. So I have the knockout already. So I'll just, you know, it's not great using the big attack already like that. I think I want to wait on the tool. I certainly don't want to Tapu Lele now. So, I don't feel great about it, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. You know, it's not the best start, certainly, but it's not, you know, it's not the worst. I mean, I could have got Delphox down. You know, I actually could have attacked with Delphox for 2, but that wasn't guaranteed that, you know, it depended on what I drew off the Welder. I drew because I got the adventure bag. I don't think I had that, because then it could have gotten me the air balloon for the retreat. You know, obviously, if I could have gotten the gust card, maybe I should have grabbed a... No, I needed to... I was going to say if I had grabbed, like, a Guzma, and then I could have taken out the Pidgey, but excuse me, but then I couldn't have. Sorry, but then I couldn't have Weldered, right? So opponent is, I don't know. I mean, they just got one Pokemon knocked out, so it's not like it's some unimagined travesty that just occurred to them, right? I mean, I just got one Pokemon knocked out, and now I can't do big damage this next turn without double switching or powering up the guy on the bench. I do have Tapu Lele. I actually can make it happen. So but my opponent doesn't necessarily know that. I don't know what's happening. They're being real slow. So don't know. Looks like they're doing nothing, unfortunately. So, yeah. Which isn't any fun. Another player just not playing. That's what we have here. So, I'll make my plays, of course, and then... So... I don't want a Blacephalon, I don't think. So I want Air Balloon. I'll grab these two tools. So I want... Oh, actually, I can attack with the first attack, can't I? So I can. But let me... I discard 2 cards here, right? So I will get rid of Blacephalon, Field Blower. Grab the energy. I will try to save the Tapu Lele still. Play the Pokégear, right? Got Welder. Super nice there, so I can save Tapu Lele. Get the energies onto the guy on the bench. I'm going to swing into him. You just use the first attack. It actually works out quite nicely. And they conceded. Okay, so, right, so I was going to attack. I only had to attack with the first attack, which meant I had the 260 attack still for the following turn, plus the guy on the bench. And I just had things set up there. So they were not going to win. So they didn't do much, my opponent, but I guess they actually didn't completely stop playing because they did at least concede that game. All right, let's see what happens here. Hopefully get a better game. The deck is working quite well. The one loss, I completely, just got all confused in the middle of the game, I got to say, is all I could say towards that loss. It wasn't, I just made a boneheaded play, period. It wasn't a guarantee that I would have won, but I think I would have. Anyway, and up against, things have not gone well for my opponents thus far. All right, so starting Gouging Fire. Okay, Dedenne, not terrible. Not terrible. Obviously, you don't bet the Dedenne-GX. It's an on-playability. Okay, so another Fire deck. Maybe I'm a little... I don't know. What was in it exactly? It's a... well, okay. So Roxanne. I'm going to discard those cards. So okay, so an old school Welder box. Let me see what was in it exactly. Whoops. Trying to get down and find what they have. What's this one? Oh, okay. He's a little engine piece, right? So I think I want to... Do I want my air balloon attached or not? That's its own question, right? So I'm going to want to... 260. I can't one-shot him, right? Can I get to 2... I don't really have the ability to do that, right? Not now. It's super unlikely, I guess is what I'll say. Right? So, I mean, I can... So I'm going to... Dedenne here. I guess maybe I should have Weldered first. Or I should have Pokégeared to see if I drew Welder. I guess that's what I should have done now that I think about it. But I have Welder. I have 2 energies. Let's see. Blacephalon. Do I want to get Baby Blood? Do I want to... I mean, I would love to get the tool, right? That's why I was kind of being hesitant there, I got to say. Baby Blounds is potentially very good here too, right? So let me... Let me get another Gouging Fire into play, I guess. And I'll drop down the Blacephalon because he could be very nice as well. And I'll just attack. I come up 10 short. That's a problem. Maybe I should have a tool. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are I need with these matchups, but it's not ideal. I can knock them out with the first attack. Now they just one attachment and they knock me out. Now that's the one problem with this. That's one major problem here. Because they have the outrage attack, so they do huge damage for one energy. So I send up here the Gouging Fire, and I just attack with the first attack is the goal. I knock them out. It's not ideal for me, but it's okay. I mean, they're doing 290, but all I have to do is give them a poke and they get knocked out. So I have Tapu Lele, so I'll grab a Welder and I'll play Giant Hearth, and I have everything I need there, right? So I think they're kind of crushed here. And yes, I want to use Wonder Tag. I want a Welder. I want to Giant Hearth. Yeah, I'll Giant Hearth here. I kind of need 2 energies, so I will get rid of that. Search my deck for 2 energies. And the deck obviously has good recovery. Just accelerate these to the active. Boom and boom. I might attach an energy from hand as well. I might as well do this. And I just do the first attack. So I got, have them knocked out there. Set up for the next turn. They gave me the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I assuming it was sincere. And so one of the things with the Charizard, which is a key staple in the old Welder box, it gives up 3 prizes. The tag teams give up 3 prizes. So they were 270 HP, which now is like an EX, but that was 3 prize territory back then. But so it's a soft 3 prizes considering what we're used to. So I can't one-shot them at this point. Baby Blacephalon's the one that can get there. So I probably want to start powering up Baby Blacephalon, I think. So they're going to use the Giant Hearth as well. And if I play my other stadium, they'll use that as well. I don't have access to Guzma. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to drop down Magma Basin. As a Welder deck, you really generally want Giant Hearth because you want the energies to accelerate, right? So they're going to Welder to the guy on the bench. They can do 200 damage to me. I mean, that's a that's a legitimate option for them. And I probably can't knock them one-shot them. Look, I can hard retreat my Gouging Fire into Baby Blacephalon, but I need... I need 6 energies in hand, which probably doesn't happen. It could happen. Like, it's not impossible. 5, 8. So 8 energies so far. 5, discard 3 in play. So I should be able to get 2 off my Giant Hearth, which I want to do. I don't think I want Delphox. I mean, Delphox might be the play, though, right? Delphox. And then I smack into... So I'm going to get rid of the Blacephalon, I guess. I don't think I need 2 Blacephalon. I think Delphox is actually really good here. Because then I set up the... I'm going to get rid of the Ultra Ball, assuming I don't need that. Right, I think Delphox, because then I can finish off the Charizard next turn easily. And I can just pay the retreat cost if I have to. So I'm going to Delphox. Hopefully I hit Air Balloon, right? That would make me happy. Rope. Well, Rope's actually really good too. All right, I can't take the knockout, but... So I just Rope and attack, right? Might as well save the energies, right? Just makes my life easier for next turn, is what I say. So this is good, and I just smack, and I just save the resources for next turn. So now my Gouging Fire one-shots them next turn, if that's what they do. I mean, he finishes them off, sorry. Blacephalon, I can probably set that up. I mean, I have the tools to get, or the items to be technical, right? Fire Crystal gets me 3 energy from the discard pile into my hand and stuff. So I should be okay. Oh, Copycat, haven't seen that in a while. And you know, it's when did it rotate? What's the regulation mark? So okay. All right, so they're going to retreat to the Charmander. So that makes things a little awkward for me. But oh, I don't have Prime Kit, but I can get a Lysander for game then with my Quick Ball. Right, assuming they retreat to the bench, I just Quick Ball for Lysander. I send up the I switch into the I pull up their Charizard and I send up my Gouging Fire, and boom, finish the game off pretty easily there. So I think things are, so they can do what? They can attack for 230. Okay, so they're just giving up on the game here, which is fine. They just want to take some prizes. I just hit into it with Gouging Fire then. So and that's it. So easy peasy here, 260, and yeah, and like I actually I wasn't guaranteed because I already had played the Tapu Lele, so I didn't play one copy of that. So to getting Guzma wasn't going to be guaranteed if they had gone to retreat and stalled a turn. So, but they just wanted to do some damage, take some prizes. That's what how they ended it. So anyway, so we see it up cutting through some metal decks, effective against another fire deck. Although you know you never know how those things go. Got 200 coins. I get to level 75 my profile. You know, their whole profile thing's kind of weird. So anyway, so it's a lot of fun. I like Expanded. You know, and I actually like the format. I know people complain a lot about wanting the full Expanded, and I would like to see that happen too. I'd like to keep the truncated Expanded. I certainly want to see them get friends matches in and such. I understand their delay until they need to get Standard worked out. And that needs, you know, obviously it should be working. Standard should be working fine by now, but obviously they're struggling to do that. So I understand the delay and expand it, but doesn't mean we can't play it and have some fun on it. Gouging Fire certainly is a fun way to go with a Welder deck. Probably a better way to do the deck, and I'll probably look at it in a future video, is a Welder box, which is usually Welders with some fire attackers, maybe some other fire attackers. Putting Gouging Fire with a 1 of rather than a 3 of, I think might end up being a better deck with just adding a little more versatility in it. But certainly Gouging Fire, you can make that the main feature in an expanded deck and get wins with it, as you saw in today's video. Take care.